of the public hearings and of the commission. And Imam, you have the floor if you can offer some prayers.
Thank you, Chair. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. ربنا أتمم لنا نورنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا آتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تفلح الميعاد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين آمين
Ameen. Shukran, Imam Diallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God of all power and might, the God of all mercies, we continue to bring ourselves unreservedly under your direction, your protection, your providence, your security, and your defense. We continue to submit this new session of the TRRC into your hands and the remaining sessions of the TRRC. We commit all the witnesses that will come before this commission, and we do ask that by your mercy and your grace, that you shall grant them the boldness to be able to stand and speak the truth, and grant the commission the discerning spirit to discern between truth and falsehood. Grant the population and the diaspora equally the patience to allow the due process to take its proper course. And at the end of it all, that you, being the just judge, will reward each and every one adequately. In Jesus' name we pray, praise, and thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed, Bishop Odiko. Council, I believe although we are continuing into a new session, that we do have some residuals from the institutional hearings. If you can just clarify that point, what the next 2 or 3 meetings would be, and when we get into the new theme as well. The floor, Council.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners and members of the audience. Yes, Mr. Chair, as you said, we're still proceeding with the institutional hearing on the NIA. We have finished with the NIA proper. We're now going to deal with an outfit called the Bulldozers, which was also an investigative arm of the state. We would soon learn how it was composed of and how it was established and who were the members and what their mandate was. But they also had arrest and investigative powers, which often culminated into prosecutions. So serious rights violations occurred at the Bulldozers. I want to believe that the Bulldozers became the successor to the Holgam investigations team. I'm not so sure about that yet. Perhaps the witness testimonies would provide better information on that. But hopefully we should finish this tomorrow. It's just one other tangent of the NIA, just like Holgam was. So we would look into it so that we would have a more holistic investigation of the NIA. And hopefully we should finish this exercise by tomorrow. And then we would move on to a new theme. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. If you're ready with this morning's witness, you may proceed, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I ask that the 2 witnesses be brought in? Mr. Chair, this hearing, we would have 2 witnesses instead of 1, because the 2 witnesses went through the same thing at the same time. They were arrested and processed together. So to abridge the hearings, it makes sense to hear them both together. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. You're having them ride on a bulldozer and get into a hole here?
Well, we've had a lot of names, Mr. Chair.
Indeed.
We've heard of black, we've heard of scorpions, we've heard of black scorpions, junglers. Who knows? You know, the list may not be exhausted yet. So this is yet another one, the bulldozers. So
thank you.
We would have interpretation in the Mandinka language. Yes, thank you. Let the other witness also come. Thank you. Mr. Kambi, could you distance them a bit? Yes. Yes. Thank you. And swear them one after the other, please.
I, Ebrima Keita,
I, Ebrima Keita,
do swear that
do swear that
I'll speak the truth,
I'll speak the truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to do that in Mandinka? Okay.
Musa Fofana.
No. I, Musa Fofana,
Musa Fofana. Musa Fofana.
do swear that
Benkalilako.
I'll speak the truth,
Betonyale fola.
the whole truth,
Tonya damma.
and nothing but the truth.
Nte fem fola me manke tonyati.
So help me God.
Koto alama ale ndema.
Good morning, witnesses. Welcome to the TRRC.
Seydou Al-Sama, bal bismillah TRRC nyati ngola.
May I ask that you distance each other a little bit, because, yes. Ebrima, could you also push further to the edge? Thank you very much. All right. Witnesses, both of you are going to testify, and we would allow for interpretation in the Mandinka language.
Allah sedandiro nyin kono jang besiro dilala pour Allah sedandiro di Mandinka kangol la jang.
And you would listen to me in English and then allow for interpretation in the Mandinka language before you respond.
Albela moy ate ala tella ate kansul nyin ningo bota ala janning albe jabiro kala al sila moy kanna soro la folo janning albe jabiro kala.
We've had.
You are testifying together, so I would direct my questions to either of you individually or to both of you collectively.
Albe sedandiro di kang ngokanne bari nyinin karol nyin nimbe nyinin karo kala. Mbe momo ni ngara wato sila meme nyinin kala mba chudi la nyinin karo nyin kate tele ya bari ni ngara nyinan karo dol fanan nada. Kafu nyoka ngal si ya sa tombo na le jabiro ke.
So I would direct my questions to A or B.
Wara nyinin karo nimba chudi la ning kiling warandum fula.
Like, for instance, I would say, Musa, this is a question for you, or I would say, Ebrima, this is a question for you.
Misal fe nsafo Musa nyinin karo mu puri teleti fulanjao Ebrima nyinin karo mu puri teleti.
I think Ebrima wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Ebrima la prafana fala ba.
Ebrima, both of you can speak in Mandinka if you so wish. The important thing is for you to speak in a language in which you are very comfortable. Now that you have taken the oath, I just want to remind you that it's an offense under the laws of this country to lie on the oath.
Gambia banko kanjang tumalamena ibina ila sedan rodila ina na kumasoto balofo o mukuler mi alon ko luati nyala.
And it is also an offense to provide false information to the TRRC.
Anu hanin kabi fana ku kilo nyakilo nyawo fana luati nyala mpuruka kumasoto balofo TRRC nyati ngola jam.
Do you understand?
Ali wa faham le ba?
Yes.
Musa, do you understand?
Musa ya faham le ba?
Yes.
Musa, you'd have to wait for the interpretation before you respond.
Musa janni be jabiro kala be la moy kan nasoro la folo janni be jabiro kala yamoy.
Do you understand what I have just said?
Ya faham le ba ay mem fo sayintem ba?
Yes, I understand.
Ebrima?
Ibrahima du.
Yes, I understand.
Thank you very much.
El numbara bake.
Okay, let us start with Ebrima.
Silanga damuda ning Ibrahima la taro.
Could you provide us with your personal information, your personal details?
Paisi ile fansun kibarol nyim fono mole na ba ile wuludla ito ini kondon wuludla na nyolu.
Ade? Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Enten ya fa mole wuluda min dole sanjijelu.
Nte lom Ebrima Keita te.
My name is Ebrima Keita.
Wuluta Banjul 18A New Street.
I was born in Banjul, 18A New Street.
New Street.
New Street, 18A.
18A New Street.
Mbota Banjul very early in my life. Yen samba mben barimaya Makati. Omar Sidibe.
I left Banjul at an early age. They took me to my uncle called Omar Sidibe, who lives in Makati.
Tata also Karambumuton, Tata Methodist Primary School.
That's where I went to school. I attended the Methodist Primary School.
Bota Methodist Primary School, Tata Armitage High School.
I left the Methodist Primary School, then I went to Armitage High School.
Adung jankono ngan mo dol million karandi dol bije ngawol sute jang dol bije ni wol be karamuto nyola.
There are people here.
Baba Galle Jallo.
There are people here who taught me at school, and there are other people here who were in the same class with me. People like Baba Galle Jallo is one of the guys who taught me.
Mam Deri Toure je me and teach physics la.
I saw Mam Deri Toure this morning who taught me physics at Armitage High School.
So mbota oto brimbe ntata Armitage.
So when I left Armitage,
Tata Gambia College, School of Nursing and Midwifery.
I went to Gambia College and I attended the Gambia College School of Midwifery, Nursing and Midwifery.
Ngado ko kenyim banko kang na tarobe Gambia jang ngado ko kijang.
I worked for the government throughout my stay in the country.
Ministry of Health.
The Ministry of Health.
Tata Loptan Bato, Mimboko, Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, then RVTH.
I was working at the RVTH, later called Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital.
Tata around the country, mbe ngadoko ke Serakunda Health Center.
I went to work at many places, various places in the country. I worked at the Serakunda Health Center.
Then I was practicing as a junior staff nurse.
I was practicing as a junior staff nurse then I left Serakunda Hospital.
Then post Brufut Health Center.
Then I was posted at Brufut Health Center.
Then it was Brufut Dispensary.
Then it was the Brufut Dispensary.
The family Benunje as the head of the nurses there.
I was the head of the nurses at the Brufut Health Center at that time.
I've nearly spent 9 months, then Muruta Koteng at the same place, Gambia College, School of Nursing and Midwifery.
I spent almost 9 months at Brufut, then I went back to Gambia College, School of Nursing and Midwifery.
Data Koteng and midwifery course for 1 year, briefly.
I did my midwifery course for 1 year, briefly.
Brimbota oto muruta mbakt muruta ntarta workforce to koteke muruta at the Ministry of Health.
When I left the college, I went back to the workforce and I worked at the Ministry of Health.
Mbewolto for some time in Atang Radoko ke kote muruta Serakunda Health Center again. I worked there briefly for a few months. Then I left the ministry and I went back to the Serakunda Health Center again. I worked there briefly. Nata yen deploy yen samba Yerobawol Health Center as the officer in charge. Then I was later deployed and taken to the Yerobawol Health Center as the officer in charge. Adoko keje fanang for some time, for at least 1 year, 2 years. I worked there for almost 2 years. Mbewoto nata koten yen deploy koten to Basse Major Health Center. Then I was later taken to the Basse Major Health Center, where I spent one year. I spent 1 year there. Because my family background, I lost my father since 1975. As somebody who lost his father since 1975. And I was living with my mother, who is a widow, who was a long-time widow. I lived with my mother, who was a long-time widow. And after then, it was, I think, Aissatou Njai Sedi, who was the Minister of Health. It was Aissatou Njai Sedi at that time, who was also the Minister of Health. I approach akai ko lafta ngandingo sambanang ay tarambala. Then my mother approached her and told her that I want to bring my son so that he can be closer to me. It was from there that in Ntata Basse Major Health Center, Janinka 1 year soto yeng post ye Murundinam again RVTH. I was then at the Basse Major Health Center, but after that I was brought back to Banjul again to the Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital. And at Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital, I started through the ranks from state nurse, from staff nurse to nursing officer. Then I rose through the ranks from staff nurse to nursing officer. At the Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital. At the Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital. Mbeje, for some time. I was there for some time. Then Natana vacancy at SOS Children's Village Bakote. Then I saw a vacancy at the SOS Children's Village at Bakote. But before then, sorry, I was Banjul Pharmacy le Fangwe Kuala follow. But before that, I was employed by the Banjul Pharmacy. Then I was running boat. Nata ajeko saim batunga government bula nata ta Banjul Pharmacy. Then I decided to leave the government job and I stayed with the Banjul Pharmacy. For some time. I worked there for some time. Then Natana vacancy at SOS Children's Village, Bakote. Then that was the time when I saw this vacancy at the SOS Children's Village at Bakote. I applied for the job. And I was lucky. And I was employed. At the SOS Children's Village, Bakote. At the SOS Children's Village at Bakote. And during that period, Mbejang Natana Dulaje Atodum Farm Sukutanga Pharmacy Loje. Then that was the time when I saw a place at Sukuta, then I decided to erect a pharmacy there. Mbeje nintara do kola SOS ninjita ngata na pharmacy ngoto. That was the time when, after working at the SOS Children's Village, when I close from work, I go to my pharmacy at Sukuta. Exactly. So mbewoleto, that's how things were going. Okay. Brin nata nga pharmacy load la minto banta manokanje. The place where I put up this pharmacy just by the roadside. Single room do ba kono wotumo nga landlord nyini kanka. I want to combine the two akoy puruka ake kind of a consultation room to put na pharmacy. There was another single room attached to the pharmacy. Then I talked to my landlord and asked him if he can allow me to combine these two so that the inner room can be used as a consultation room. Another nami itandin na konye ko sorry, unfortunately molebe sabatering wodulato. Then he told me that sorry, unfortunately somebody is using that place. Birin tartaje nkaje kambano do kadung akafinti wo bungo kono. I was there. Then later on I saw that there was somebody who goes in and out of that room.
Mr. Keita.
Mr. Keita.
You This is where you worked when the incident happened in 2016, correct?
Yes.
Do ko la no nyin dinkira la to wato men na nyin ko be boyle kan 2016 sango kono.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you still operate the pharmacy?
Ani kabi wo pharmacy on nyi ba tamandi kande ba.
Yes, I'm still there. I refuse to leave the place.
Thank you very much for your tenacity.
Yes.
Let's now move on to Mr. Musa.
Silangata Mr. Musa Fofana ya.
Tell us about yourself, your name, full name, and biographical information.
Silang ifam fo moli bang ito ni kontongo ani la kibar kotango du uludla ulud sa sanji jumalla.
Assalamu alaikum jamu bembal be kontona.
Greetings to everyone present here.
Chairman lead council
Chairman and his people, lead council and his people, and everybody. Plus the audience, those who are in here and those watching. My name is Musa Fofana. Some call me Bolong, that's a nickname. I was born in Jara Sankuya.
25th May 1967.
In 1967.
I
was there. I was then enrolled at the Pakalinding Primary School. I went to school late because I went to school at the age of 10 years.
I started primary 1.
I started at primary 1.
Primary 2.
Primary 2. When the exams were approaching, I suffered from chest problems.
So
then I was unable to sit to the exam.
Repeat.
Then I repeated the class again.
So for primary 6, around primary 6, secondary.
Then I went through the classes up to primary 6. Then I later went to Pakalinding Secondary School.
In 1984, Form 1 started.
In 1984, that's when I started at Form 1.
Was not common entrance?
Because the common entrance,
if
I can remember, I was short by 5 marks to pass the common entrance.
Muslim high school.
To go to Muslim high school.
So
by that time, my elder brothers,
then at
that time, they have dispersed. One was at the army.
PWD.
The elder one was working at the Public Works Department.
So the
other one was staying at my father's younger brother at Makati. That was the person I followed, but he was older than me by 5 years.
Because
my father didn't want me to be far away from him. He told me go to Mansakonko so that you can attend the Pakalinding Technical Secondary School.
Mr. Mustafa Cham, headmaster.
Mr. Mustafa Cham was the headmaster by then.
So another
then he said,
the
students at that time at the school, at my level, my marks were higher than all those at that time.
So I left Form 2.
Then he wanted to take me to Form 2. I said to him, then allow me to talk to my father. I told my father, I said to him, yeah.
Form 2.
I said to him, if I go to Form 2, it's not good for me. I said to him, let me start at Form 1.
So Form 1.
I was at Form 1.
My performance was very good.
My performance was very good.
Ghanaian Mr. Yao.
There was a Ghanaian called Mr. Yao.
I couldn't tell my best student.
He said I was his best student.
Throughout the three Form 1s.
Throughout the 3 Form 1 classes.
You have S, K, and J.
You have S, K, and J. I was attending the S class.
So I couldn't be kalala class prefect.
He made me the class prefect.
So Ntarajembola.
That's where I was.
After the school obeyed 3 Form 1s.
The school had those 3 Form 1s classes.
Exam okay.
After the examination,
Maths and science, ndeka first abiro.
in maths and science, I always take force.
Even in the class, ni exam okay, student will be in la fikante la paper follow.
Even after the exams, all the students in the class would like to see my papers.
So now that I out of Form 3.
Then I went up to Form 3.
From 1 to Form 3, first or second call.
From 1 to Form 3, I am always either first or second. Then one day the master called me. He told me there is a chance at the Public Works Department.
Form 3.
I was at Form 3 by then. He said to me, this is what I want.
Sometimes they have like.
If you like,
national road traffic count.
You can start working national road traffic count.
So they have 1 month or 2 months more do kola.
I think I spent 1 or 2 months doing that job.
Land Rover kana Sankuya.
Land Rover picks me from Mansakongo to Sankuya. And so in the area, people started saying,
Musa maji do karangala follow I do kosoto.
Musa is going to school.
Nata Form 4.
Then I went to Form 4. Before the exams, all the class teachers wanted me to do,
the rest of the subjects,
apart from woodwork and metalwork, the rest of the subjects.
All
the teachers want me to choose their subjects. So I also looked at the subjects, all of them.
Instead of 9 or beta,
instead of doing the 9 subjects,
only 7.
I said, let me take 7 subjects.
Out of that 7 subjects, so I
was not happy with that.
Because as the
saying goes,
an examination is not a fair test of one's knowledge.
Examination.
Health center.
My uncle was working at the SL Health Center. By then they were building up there.
But the contractor was Badusamba.
The contractor was Badusamba.
So Nara from Bama, I put coming.
Then I told my mother. So I told my mom to help me and talk to my uncle so that I can go to Berending Secondary School and repeat the class. Then my uncle said, that's not a problem.
Because school follow Pakalending Secondary.
Because when I left Pakalending Secondary School, I went to stay with my uncle. That time he was staying in the school. It was almost late.
So
then I went to the school and I decided to repeat the class.
Anyway, it was very late.
It was late.
We had the same subject, the same case, the same passes also.
But I got the same passes again as before.
Now, this time around, was it a fair test of your knowledge?
Still, it's
not fair to me.
No,
then I was there. Then I had a friend, an age mate called Lamin Bori Fofana. He was staying at Bundung. He was working in the hotel industry.
Dolphin, there
was a restaurant around Karaba Avenue called Dolphin Bar.
So another weekend,
he came to spend the weekend with me when I was with my uncle at SL. He told me, boy, before sitting down here, why don't you come to me so that I can train you?
As a barkeeper?
As a barkeeper.
Or any good barkeeper, or waiter, any good waiter, or barkeeper.
Or you can be a waiter, because any good waiter can be a barkeeper, or any barkeeper can be a waiter. He told me he will train me in the compound first. How to carry plates in your hands. How to serve drinks. So that if families come to the venue with children, how you are going to serve them. He taught me all those things.
So I
I was doing that until one day he told me, but you are very fast, you are a fast learner. He told me then I will explain your affair or your case to my boss.
An Englishman called Roger Mello.
He was an Englishman called Roger Mello.
He was an ex-soldier.
He also was an ex-soldier.
So
Lamin said to me, boy,
on the 1st September.
He told me, we will go there on the 1st of September.
1991.
In 1991.
1st September my birthday.
He told me that day, the 1st of September, is his birthday. He told me you are somebody who likes to laugh, you are always smiling. The man also likes those type of people.
So then
Lamin told him that I will bring someone here, Fofana.
Okay.
The man said to him, okay.
Anyway, anytime na filter kwa national.
The man asked my friend when. Then my friend told the man that, well, anytime I can come with him here at any time. Whenever he feels to come, I will come with him.
Imagine 1991.
Imagine in 1991, in those days, the tourist season used to be very busy.
Off-season over busy.
Even during the off-season, things usually are hectic.
What time of
around in those days,
British High Commission from
the British High Commissioner himself comes to that place. He takes some of us, the staff. If they have functions at the embassy, they take us there to work for them.
Did you get a job? Did you smile your way into the job?
Yes. Okay,
on 1st of September?
So 1st September,
then on the 1st of September, he came.
It was around 4 p.m.
If I can remember, it was around 4 p.m. Lamin was in front of me. He's somebody who understands the white man. And he knew me very well too. He told me, boy, this man coming, that's the man.
So
he was coming. When I saw him, I decided to smile.
I love that.
The man said to me, I love that. He said, Lamin,
I really like your man.
He said to Lamin, I really like your man. Lamin told him, this is the man I brought, and if you agree, he will even start working today.
Why not? Because my birthday is busy.
The man said to him, why not? Because today is my birthday. The man, how I saw him,
I can smile there.
He's somebody who easily smiles, and I know that if he's somebody, if he stays in this job for long, he will become a very good worker.
So
then, with the grace of Allah, he employed me.
Now, first salary.
My first salary.
It was $433. $433.
It was $433. And how many buruts?
33 buruts.
33 buruts.
So in the second month.
My second month.
I na performance earning staff for
After he saw my performance, he decided to bring me to the same level with all the workers there, the staff who were working for him.
At that time, it was $950.
Then that was the time, if I can remember, my salary rose to $950 a month.
Mr. Musa, you're a very lucky fellow. I remember those of us with A levels, we worked at Cooperative Union on a salary of $233. But anyway, let us move on. So you joined the hotel industry, and did you rise through the ranks?
Yes, I got some promotions. Then I was there, and the man saw that. If Lamin, who happens to be the barkeeper, but if he becomes busy, and if there are other people who were many at the counter, waiters, if there are many at the counter,
so I go behind the bar.
Then I will go behind the bar.
service okay.
I will do the service. Sometimes if I even want to leave, some will not allow me to go out. That's how I was working there.
Because Lamin and
Lamin being the barkeeper, he also doubles at the cashier. He trained me to do that job also. Before starting, the money that flows in, I always check the money and put it aside. After doing the sales, when he comes to check the money, I mean dealer, he come
flood money,
okay, the flood money and the changes that are left with me, he will check and put them aside. And he will bring the bill.
I compare.
He will check the cars and compare the bills and the cars received.
Let's starting.
At the starting, I told him some people used to give us tips. So because of the nature of the job, we were always in a hurry. We don't remove the tips from the amount paid. We leave the tips there.
So
So at that time, he one day told me, this is not safe. Because if you leave the tip inside the money, they will think that you are doing something else different in the job.
Mr. Fofana, the work of a cashier or a barkeeper in the hotel industry is quite interesting and complicated. So we spare us the details of such a very interesting job, and then we would move on to what happened to you in 2016. But before that, what work do you do presently?
Si jani bo be tonya la lafta kamen be sata hotel doku ko di maraladi aninga ke baki pati kule me an ko anyabo warra doku kende balam but hanin kabi ngata janni be mela wodo ngawato janni wodo ngata kula mela no wala late kan 2016 san kono an hanin kabi janni wo fana sainte be jamano men kono ikamun doku leke.
Still hotel doku la.
I'm still doing hotel work.
But since last year, March 23rd.
But since last year, March 23rd,
a hotel in Sun Beach Hotel.
Hotel was closed, a hotel called Sun Beach Hotel.
Because
during the season, that's where I work.
Off season, I can samba Ocean Bay.
Off season, I go to Ocean Bay.
Ocean Bay in Katra banquet, learning one of my co-worker Lamin Jamme.
At the during the season, I work there with a friend called Lamin Jamme.
Katra Sun Beach season off season, Galkan Samba Ocean Bay banquet.
I work at my place during the season, but off season I go to Sun Beach Hotel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ocean Bay, sorry.
So both of you were in Sukuta in May of 2016, correct?
Alme bebe no Sukuta me karo kono 2016 kan sangon. Almo fulo Musa.
Yes.
Ebrima?
Yes. Ibrahim.
So you have to allow one another first. So that the speeches would not overlap. And this incident that you had, Musa, with the bulldozers, what day was it? Was it the 10th of May or was it 11th of May? Bearing in mind 11th May is Bob Marley Day.
Musa, kula mellate kan me karo tiltan warando mi tanning kilingol mellate kan inin bulldozer molu mun kullate kan bari say il fanal lonko 11 May lunne me yalon ko jamaka jura ko Bob Marley la lungolam.
On the 10th May, the report was data.
The report was given on the 10th of May.
On the 11th May.
But these people came there on the 11th of May.
2016.
2016.
Okay, Ebrima, kindly tell us what happened on 10th of May.
Ebrima, afanya bang muna kita me karo tiltan.
Do you agree that this incident, the conversations that you had, took place on 10th of May?
And
Gayol Nata, as he put it, On the 11th of May.
Yes. Sonda nyinal ba ini nyimola nyise nyolo nyakata karo tilitang andu nyimolo koy ka fanya men gael nyimolo inata kan ini yese nyolo soto karo tilitang anin kilingol laba.
So tell us what happened on the 10th of May.
Silang afanya muna kita karo tilitang ola. Ibrahim.
Okay, karo tilitang min keta no.
What happened on the 10th of May?
Pharmacy moto.
I was at the pharmacy.
Musa beje katu Musa mun kafunyo bete balte.
I was there with Musa because Musa happens to be a very good friend of mine.
Because mole mu kabrin tata natan tarata was wokono na pharmacy moto.
Because he's somebody, since I came to stay at that pharmacy,
atemu molti what mo nimfinti tandunta suwokono.
Is somebody, if I go out and enter the compound, if I reach his house, I greet him. Then I realized that he's somebody who rarely goes out. If you don't find him in his house, you will find him under his veranda reading. That's the time when I started, I questioned him, what is your name? He said, my name is Musa Fofana.
So you guys developed a relationship.
This is how we became acquainted. Then I told him, before you will always be sitting by yourself here alone, why can't you join me so that we will be sitting together so that we can also chat? Because I realized that he's a gentleman. Then I asked him his age. I asked him, how old are you?
1967.
He told me that he was born in 1967.
This is strange. I was born in 1967.
I told him this is strange, a coincidence. I was also born in 1967.
Relationship developed world now.
This is how we developed the relationship. Because he is somebody who wouldn't have been involved in this problem which we both encountered. But he encountered this problem because of his relationship with me. Because he comes to sit by me and we always sit together and chat. Then I realized that he is a responsible person. He has his family. He is there. He was there with his family. Then I later realized that he works for the hotel.
Ebrima, on that fateful 10th day of May, 2016, did you see Musa?
Olungola Ebrima. Aro me karo til tangola 2016 sangola. Olungo enya beta Musa kaneba.
Yes, we were together.
Was there anybody else with you apart from Musa?
Ninga bota itani Musa fon kunningola. Fodo ko ten soro ndaba yalan ko abal feje ba.
Yes, initially we were the two people there. Till later on, there was an old man called Pala Sanajallo who was passing by. So he was somebody who usually passes by there. And that's how we became acquainted with him, myself and Musa and him. We all became acquainted.
Musa, tell us what time you went to the pharmacy that day?
Musa, silang afanyamba wolungonyi. Montoro wati jumala mitara pharmacy ngoto kasije kata kachala ja.
On the 10th, yeah?
Yes.
It was around 5 p.m. towards 5:30.
I think it was 5 p.m. towards ngamira tala lullem kata tala lullin talakam.
Mostly what time was kataji.
Mostly I go there around that time.
So
especially my off days.
Especially my off days.
On this particular occasion, who did you find at the pharmacy?
Musa,
Ebrima Keita.
I found Ebrima Keita there. But someone was in the room.
Bulldozer informer.
The informer who was Bulldozer's informer.
Ex-army military intelligence.
He's an ex-army. He was an ex-army and also a former military intelligence officer.
What's his name?
Ebrima John.
They call him Ebrima John.
Ebrima Keita. Is this the room you were talking about? That it was next or the next room to your pharmacy, the room you wanted to add to your pharmacy as a consultation room?
Oh, nyina bungo tibang ika bungo menna kumofo ko ilafto bungo nyinela no fayta ta kordati yone dia mutaye pour isaje ay sa dino la yake bunte me yalon ko be muna fang lala pour la sa mul me yalon ko kana jaralo kanibulu pour ni be nyoje la dam fo le bungo tibang
atele fam fam.
Yeah, that's the very room.
And that is the room.
Akanyim funding ke fanam for
This man he is talking about, the man who was staying in that room.
Nataro konoje.
During my stay there, I just saw him coming in and out.
Sometimes inside military fonko bala, military uniform ayake sototi ayadung.
Sometimes I'll see him wearing a military short trouser.
And military la t-shirt.
Plus a military t-shirt. But I didn't know him at that time. Then one day I asked him, who are you?
And
then he told me that his name is Ebrima John. Then I asked him, what is your occupation? He told me I was working with the army.
Akonye bari saing mbe mantara mbuka uniform dum be do kola army bari mbuka uniform dum.
He told me now I'm still working with the army but I don't wear uniform.
At this stage, did you know that he was working for the intelligence service?
Fo nyin tembenna fo anarne la londo to la bang ka kalamuta ko nyi Ebrima John abe do kola kullo poli dinkari ngom do kula la karola abe do kola wala.
Yes, during our stay there, I am somebody who likes to observe things properly. I usually see him, he comes with a rider. It was a white motorbike. Sometimes I see him come with some people and they will go into his room. Some of them happen to be these paramilitary officers. Some of them will even be in uniform. They will come with him and go into his house.
Did you know he was an intelligence officer for the intelligence service or the secret service?
Oh, yalo ne banga na ne londo do banko abe mola me alon ko abe do ko na tanko bunda melu marling londi kulo dinkari ko maranyala imbangu kamba.
That was the time when I decided to investigate about him. I started to find out things about him.
Because
at that time I was staying at Canifing South. That's where my family compound was located.
So
sometimes when I am coming, we will meet when he is riding that white motorbike. I'll see him passing.
Especially Canifing South or University Bunjang Bedam, Nekabonam Canifing South, Nekabonang Banjul Brewery, Kanana.
Sometime I'll see him passing by around Canifing South. If you are coming from Banjul, where that building was around Banjul Brewery, near the university.
The online
university.
The online university, usually I see him passing by there.
So lundo bijen to famo abene motorcycle bita kan so fanam bulata mba no maten ka jube abita kata dame.
So one day he was riding, then I was behind him. I also decided to observe so that I will know where he was going to.
Nata ja kadum bulldozer ka fot plaso dole bulldozer ba unte go untem Canifing South na family compound bijele nga bulldozer ni dulalo ne ngalon ko pengu George la suolom no.
Because that day when I followed him, I saw him going into that compound where they call Bulldozer. In Kanifing South, I knew my way around, and I knew that that compound belongs to Penku George.
Musa,
Musa.
at this stage, on 10 May, did you know what work Ebrima John was doing?
Ebrima John.
At that time, I didn't know what job he does.
But at this stage, did you know what bulldozer was?
Yes, at that time I knew what the bulldozer was doing.
And what did you understand bulldozer to mean and what work they were doing?
I understood that
different security forces Yajame put together.
Yajame decided to put together different security forces.
I campo do the Holigam Funko Bulldozer.
He decided to give them a place called Holgam Bulldozer.
So Katara Sate Kono, Evemola Kol Fengala, especially in politician thing.
They will be going around people's residences, but usually they used to observe, usually on politicians. But this man, I work at the hotel, so I knew people. I met criminals. I met so many different types of people. There was one year when I was at the Dolphin. I was serving one man. Even on my off days, they will call me and tell me that your man is here. But usually what I tell them is, tell Mr. So-and-so to serve him.
Because
the man, if you serve him, he will not give you anything.
So, but our last day,
but his last day, luckily for me, it was not my off day. I served him. When he requested for his bill, I gave it to him.
So I service.
He thanked me for my service.
It was $500.
He gave me a tip. If I can remember properly, it was $500. Then he asked me, do you know me? I said to him, no, I don't know you. I came to know you here. He said, he is a killer. He said he's a killer. An American, he said, killing is his job.
Last night. Thank you very much for your service.
He told me today is the last night for me here. Thank you very much for your service.
Because
he told me you should further your education because you meet so many different people in this kind of job. He told me continue with the type of good job you are doing. This is why Ebrima John, when as he was living in that compound, mostly I don't see him going to work.
But sometimes
I'll see him wearing a suit.
Less than 3, 4, 5 hours.
He will go away, but less than 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours, he will come back. And whenever we meet, he used to call me uncle. I look at his face. If I look in his eyes, he will bend his head. I said to myself, I don't trust this man. If you look in somebody's eyes always and he bends his head, then if that kind of person, I don't trust them. I don't know his job, but I don't trust him.
I hope you're not suspecting me too. But, but Ebrima, you saw this guy go into Holgam. What came to your mind?
When I
saw him enter that place, Holgam, just as Musa said,
Because Holy Gam what montel ngafo nyamen ko pengujon la swolon nuntel kata tulungu la jele num holidays la.
As I told you, Holgam used to belong to Pengu George, and during our childhood days we go to play there around that place.
After natana dula nyinke fonkoti nye factory te.
Then later on a fish factory was built there.
Bulo botala nata nkanyaje nka sojarol je loading abundato.
Then after that, after the place was changed, I later realized that I used to see soldiers standing at the gate of the place. When I saw him going into that compound, then that's how I made the connection in my mind. I said to myself, then maybe this man is working with these people.
At this stage, did you know what kind of work the soldiers were doing in that premises?
Kabula o watola. Funar na sabati son domo kono banka lonko ni sojaro le kamunde doku ke ni sansan kono ja.
Wotumo dak nadungo je wato kabrin sojarol bijama mbukadun no bawo sojarol le babundato.
In those days, I don't go inside there because it's guarded by soldiers who always keep guard at the gate. So this is why I don't have the chance to go inside.
Waninga nyinin karo ke ka fonyele ko sojarol le bijang aning service mall le bijandal.
But whenever I ask about the place, they will always tell me, well, this place is used by soldiers plus other security branches. People from those security branches join soldiers here.
So Musa, tell us, that evening you went to the pharmacy at between 5 and 5:30, and what happened there?
Siang Musa afanya bang wolungo nyingina na ta pharmacy ngonyinto membida montro wati lulu kata fo montro wati tansabokang.
Wati lulu nintala.
Talakang.
On the 10th lala.
Yes.
On the 10th I reported to Olola.
Tell us what happened when you went there. We want to know what happened.
Okay.
When I went to the pharmacy, because whenever we are together there, we used to brew China green tea attire. When we started brewing, those who knew me know me as somebody who really likes to drink attire. If I reach that place, if today I brew China green tea, the following day will be his turn to brew the China green tea.
So
that's what we were doing.
Alasana Jallo.
Somebody called Alasana Jallo.
Because
he happened to be our elder and he likes me.
Always, most of the time,
sometimes when he used to go to the mosque to pray, but sometimes if he feels that he's about to get late reaching the mosque,
I told him I join.
If he sees us performing ablution, he will come and join us. We will tell him, lead us in prayers. He will lead us in prayers. He told me, you people, I like you people. Young people like you people. Even if I am on board a vehicle passing, and if it happens to be prayer time, I used to see you people praying. Sometimes before I reach Sukuta, the garage mosque, this is why if I realize that I'll be late to reach that mosque, I always drop here to pray with you people. Then he told me one day, Fofana, I used to drink China green tea, but me, I only drink first and second. He also told me that he doesn't like too much sugar. Then I told him, well, we also use diabetes sugar because myself and my friend, we are all suffering from diabetes. That's how we were there.
That very day,
the old man, he said he was from Kanifing. So because I don't know whether he saw the UDP people being loaded on board a vehicle.
Mike.
Sorry, thank you very much. Ibrahim, on this date, something important happened.
Ni lungo
Do you recall what it was?
Kukuma bala keta ulungo nyina fo yakilo sa muda no kukuma men keta ba ulungo ba Ibrahim.
This was the day of the solo Sandeng demonstration.
Yeah, nyine fon keta woti min keta olungo kukuma bala keta.
Exactly, it was the very day, and on that day something very important happened. Just as you just said.
Ate pa keba kilungo ka fo mi pa lasana.
The same old man called Pa Alasana.
Because yalon tolu ontol buka finti.
Because as for us, we don't go anywhere.
Kanin tata fon sita pharmacy utom buka finti fo ninjita utumo nga size wokono.
We don't go to anywhere. When we come to the pharmacy and sit down there, the only time we leave that place is when I was about to go home.
So ate Pa Alasana finti tamolka around that time, 5 to 5:30 mafam.
So Pa Alasana arrived there at our place around 5 to 5:30.
Atu Musa fo nyamen tata le fo na ko na dal tabrana ta ko mole ko ali akoda ali alo mimbe kering.
When he reached us, he told us, "You people, do you know what's happening?"
Kay ko hani de intel malo mimbe kering bari ako mole ko he nte kabona Westfield ma fangol la.
When he told us that, "Do you know what's happening?" I said to him, "No, we don't know what's happening." He said to us, "Then I'm somebody. I'm leaving. I've just left around Westfield."
Ako je molbe je demonstration ole bije.
He said to me, "There are people demonstrating around Westfield."
Adu kamin fo je koy ko solo sanden solo sanden fale.
And what I hear people saying is that they have killed Solo Sandeng.
Ako bari nte jikita ko amam fa be paring o fole doron.
But as for me, I think that's not true. He is not dead. People just said that.
How did you react to that information?
Okibaro birite o moy ita nyaadi le.
Ako njakal bake.
Yes, I was really puzzled. I don't know what to mean. What does it mean?
Wotumo lonko Musa he nkai ko bari sanyin fonko arrest detain and arrest siata banko come back.
That was the time when I said to Musa, nowadays arrest and detain is too much in our country.
Nkai ko ntata kacha coming be kachala drontol as individuals.
So we went on chatting, just chatting as individuals.
And Musa, tell us how you reacted to that.
Musa silang ita fana ya fonye biriyo kibaro nyim moy. Iketa nyaadi le.
Kabe tengo moy.
When I heard that,
Go pabi akona.
I said to him, "Old man," he said, "Yes."
Ga pabi bari ngi ko yana simple lalde.
I told him, "Well, this should be a simple matter."
Ko yin sifana na kara Mali.
I said to him, something like this once happened in Mali.
More demonstrator.
People demonstrated.
Soldiers
killed people. They killed people.
At the end.
But at the end, then this is what happened until finally they decided to topple the government of Modibo Keita. Then I said to him, we also should do the same thing here. I said to him, they are killing people, but they cannot kill everyone. Those who are destined to die will die. If everybody comes out, they cannot kill everyone. On the whole, he was sitting down inside. Iko?
Yeah.
Iko nyadi, I said Yaya himself will be afraid and he will step down.
Ebrima, how did you react to this statement you heard from Musa?
Se Ebrima ita keno ranyadi le muna kede la lo dade birite nyin kibaru kuba kama moy Musa yafu.
Kabri Musa nyin kumofo.
When Musa said that, then I also said to him, there is one thing. I said to him, Yaya Jammeh's rule, I'm not happy with it.
Another example of in Senegal.
I gave him an example saying that in Senegal,
in fact, Macky Sall admire.
And I said to him, me, I admire Macky Sall.
Because
because the way how he does things, well, it really impressed me. Then I went on to say that our president is not educated. This is why he's arresting and killing people.
Be careful what you say.
I'm careful.
Yes, I'm careful.
And how about the old man? Did he say anything? Ibrahim, did the old man say anything? Alasan?
Alasan, 5 fenne for bang. What he said after I asked him, after he narrated his story, I said to him, do you really know whether Solo Sandeng is dead? I think maybe really it's true that he is dead. He told me, well, that's what people are just talking. They are just talking. They are just making people to become, to fear. That's what we were discussing. On the whole, this man staying in that single house, so I suspected that he wrote something. So the following day, we were just sitting down there when they arrived in the evening. We were just sitting down, myself and Musa. We saw a double cabin pickup, a white one, loaded with paramilitary officers. Some of them were wearing masks over their faces. Some of them were holding some of them were holding rifles. So some of them were holding sticks.
How did you react when you saw them?
When we saw them, definitely we became afraid.
Musa.
They were coming towards us.
And Musa, how did you... Okay, let's take it back a little bit. The previous night, the previous evening, did you suspect that the conversation you were having would cause any problems?
Fo ni na tare sondo mo kono ko ale o kacha menke fo bina ko le ko sabulal malaba
telefo
Musa
abe Musa lema
no kacha dal
kacha folo ni lum folo
alla kacha nyi yeni mirale ko
at that stage suspect or have any reason to believe that that conversation you were having would lead to any problems?
Ndeka so bibaga suspectale.
Yes, I'm somebody who is highly suspicious. So from then on, I suspected.
Because Ebrima
John,
most of the time,
when we are brewing China green tea, most of the time in the evenings, he will go into his house and lock himself up. But as you know, all the elderly people, when they are talking about politics, they don't hide anything. If an elderly man is talking, you cannot just stop him. But I tried to signal him, but he didn't understand me.
But you did not heed to that. You advocated the civil disobedience against the government to culminate into a Gambian spring that would lead to Yahya Jammeh's downfall. You advocated for that, knowing fully well that this guy was in the adjoining room.
But kule me alonko alma mabo al keta kule me alonko al be wulta kamala le pareta kamaka ko kidimandi pour Yahya Jammeh ka je nyame ko pour abe jino la si mansa siran ka nyame.
Is that what I said?
Kule nyinti me alonko alimang nyimira ko nyinkumo be ku sabula katu albena tanganiyo men yitande wala nyinti kusike mensa kende hanfo Yahya Jammeh ala mansa ya siboy wala ay ji mansa yala andung ali hakilo nyanta jala utumo ko nyum fondin ke bala bu ngoko nole
ngako sa jene bari amaka ko ngamra 100% ka beje ko maji dunaje
Well, that could be true, but I didn't see him. I was not 100% sure that he was in the room.
When you were speaking to Musa, to Ebrima and Pa Alassane that evening, you were speaking freely, weren't you? No?
Biribe diamu la Musa ani Pa Alassane o ula randi ngonyin. Ebe diamu ko ifan nidi ala kan fon.
Ifan sawo.
Han sawo kan?
Yes.
And
Because otamo,
Because at that time,
nga jere ko politiko be banko kan nyamen.
the way I saw how politics was going on in the country,
Wol be jere drong e kam mol tafas ka ko kela ka fo be UDP.
things happen, especially if you are a member of the UDP, they will come and do something that will anger you or that will push you into something which will create a problem for you.
were you afraid to speak at that stage?
Ani masira?
No, I was not afraid.
Because nte diamo kundukundala pabi nga hormal nga bunya atle diamo nyima.
Because the conversation was started by the old man, and I have high respect for him, so I cannot just cut him off.
Ebrima, did you at this stage have any suspicions that this conversation you were having could lead into problems?
Ebrima ite dum fanam fo e sobi o soto nyin ko nyin ko e be nkacha men soto dang teng fo abina ko le ko sabule mala o sa nyaaro do mandimba.
Because what dal nene ma miranu.
At that time, I never thought about that.
Katu minketa num fang.
Because what happened?
Abrim pa nying diamo kumase.
When the old man started this conversation,
amang koy manum fo kending be ala bon kono fatije.
I was not really sure whether this man was in his room or not.
Atu bring yala woso molom fonko paramilitary nata.
Because the paramilitary officers came the following day.
So o time olom bri nata uraro yentene Musa tara siring.
So the following day in the evening when they came and found me sitting with Musa.
So during your conversation on the evening of the 10th of May, you were just speaking freely, not thinking that any problem would arise from your conversation.
Munta karotil tango nyina wato men albe kacha nyim kono albe kacha diamu kan alfa sawolan andungal man mira nun ko o samo kubina soro le miano kabina ko le ko sabulal makabo o kacha dale men ko ale men fo o samo lan
ala alo nte ma umira nte kundi ma umira.
Yes, truly I didn't even think that something like that will happen. I didn't think of any problem.
Wala na kabring osomo nyim paramilitary fintitana.
This is why the following day when these paramilitary people arrived there,
ibinakan to momin na ibinakan
when they were just approaching,
anko Musa ko nyinde soldier naka paramilitary officer lam nyinte.
I said to Musa, these people are paramilitary officers.
Nata fon ko barbi bi mumuneti 11th of May leti.
Then I said, what is today? Today is 11th of May.
Ngamuta ko maybe ikafinti kata boysol noma pumilbe katara sabaro la banta.
Because first of all, I thought that they are out to go after the boys who usually come out on that day to go and smoke outside.
Smoke what?
Cannabis.
Cannabis.
That's
the time when I said to Musa,
anyway, ibakandande malon nak bare ikamunu mol min katraji modol noma boysol noma.
I said to Musa, well, they are coming, but it looks like that these are the type of officers who used to go after these young boys.
Yarafantol malon nu.
On the whole, we didn't know. When they came until they almost reached us, they reduced their speed. They came like that slowly until they were exactly opposite us. That was the time when they all jumped down from the vehicle. They came and greeted us. Then they asked, who is Ebrima? Because at that time they didn't know my show name. Because the man inside that room, we were not highly acquainted. So one day even I asked him, what type of job are you doing? Because I was becoming suspicious of his what he used to do. That was the time when they told me, climb on board this vehicle.
Okay. At this stage, how did you feel when you were being asked to jump on the vehicle?
Sila nyintembenna. Birite ko ite Ibrahima ko bula moto kono. Akite fe nyaadi le.
It really puzzled me.
Because
it surprised me. Because where I was on board that vehicle, I just showed them, I gestured to them, changed my hands, asking them, what have I done?
Especially kambano dobe kono je paramilitary kono.
Especially there was a man among the paramilitary. He lived near me. In fact, he is a neighbor where I was living at Salaji.
Directly opposite me.
He was sitting directly opposite me on board the vehicle. I just gestured my hands to him and asked him what have I done. Then he decided to look away from me.
In uniform.
Because he was in uniform at that time. He turned his face away from me. He refused to look at me. That's the time when I realized that, well, something bad has happened.
Okay, let's, Musa, when they arrived, how did you feel?
Then I said to Keita, well, these people are the guys.
Boys on May 11th.
I said to him, boys, on May 11th,
normally
normally these boys smoke cannabis on the streets. Maybe they are after those boys. But when they came until they nearly reached us, when they all jumped from the vehicle, some of them were holding AK-47 rifles and some were holding sticks.
Most of them have masks.
And most of them wore masks over their faces. Then they came and asked, who is Ebrima? They said to him, board this vehicle. They said, Musa Fofana, also you should board this vehicle. There was a Ghanaian around who used to repair these refrigerators. He's an old man.
Mike.
They call him Mike. They thought that he was Pa Alassane Jallo. They asked him to join the vehicle. So he asked them, what have I done? They said to him, go just board the vehicle. When we reach our destination, you will know what you've done. So, but where I was sitting, that was the time when I realized exactly it was Ebrima John who created this problem for us. Because the security man sitting next to me, he was talking. Then I recognized his voice. Then I knew that this man next to me is Ebrima John.
He said, I knew that the man on the other end of the line was Ebrima John.
Okay, yes. And then that's the time when he said that they should drop Mike. They should allow him to go off the vehicle.
So, Uncle Musa Fofana.
They said, and he also said, tell Uncle Musa also to alight from the vehicle. Then you can take away Keita. Take him away for the time being.
So I telephone off.
Then that's the time when he rang off the phone.
So Mike.
They said to Mike, you should alight from the vehicle. They also said Uncle Musa alight from the vehicle. Then we alighted from the vehicle. We sat down on a bench there. At that time I had already brewed my second attire, very fine one. I was about to share it, but when this thing happened, I was so angry that I decided to throw away the attire.
So Ebrima, they decided to go with you, correct? Mr. Chair, we hear more about it after the break. Thank you.
You can take a break now and go get your attire. We'll see what happens. Thank you. We have a 30-minute break and come back at 12:05. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.